Good evening. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from the YouTube channel. Like to see you on a part series the week that was college football history review, the 1963 college football season. This is week 2. The games are played on September 28th, 1963. I'm going to start with Pittsburgh beating Washington 13-6. The number 10 ranked Pittsburgh Panthers beat Washington 13-6. Slick quarterback defensive back Fred Mazurek accounted for all points scored by Panthers and made 2 brilliant plays on defense. Mazurek plunged for touchdown at the end of a 75-yard drive early in the second quarter. He passed 11 for 16 for 120 yards and interception, including a 14-yard touchdown to end Joe Kuznetsky, who lowered his shoulder to plow through the defensive back into the end zone in the fourth quarter to extend lead to 13-6. The Washington halfback Dave Kopay scored on a 2-yard run to cap 51-yard drive that narrowed margin to 7-6 in the fourth quarter. Coach Jim Owens opted for 2-point run defensive back. Mazurek made tackle that halted fullback Charlie Browning made his tracks as it went to 13-6 edge. Washington halfback Steve Bromwell broke loose for 7 yards to kick off return to Panthers 27-yard line. Huskies made quick first down at 15-yard line, but quarterback Bill Douglas was intercepted when nimble Mazurek raced between 2 Washington receivers. Grabs game-saving interception. Pitt then ice-verted with 86-yard drive, which expired at Washington 1-yard line as game clock ticked to end. Number 9 Georgia shut out Clemson by a score of 27-0. Auburn beat Tennessee by a score of 23-19. With hopes of taking winning SEC debut for Coach Jim McDonald, Volunteers took 3 of Tigers' fumbles that were 5 fumbles and jumped to 12-0 lead on end kicker Fred Martin's 27-yard field goal. In Al Tanara's 32-yard touchdown pass from tailback Milan Faircloth, safety on end zone slip by Tigers quarterback Jimmy Seidel. Safety was soon traded in kind when Faircloth bobbled snap in his end zone. The Plainsman punter John Kilgore bomb punt 50 yards to halt at Tennessee 1-yard line. According to Auburn coach Jordan, masterful Seidel played to his greatest game for us. Seidel overcame 12-2 and 19-9 deficits, starting with 8-yard touchdown pass to wingback George Rose, prevailing despite a pair of 15-yard penalties during a 77-yard march. Seidel picked on passes of 12, 10, 18 yards before hitting Rose for another score. It pulled Auburn within 19-16 less than 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. So on a winning trip that came with 3:55 showing on the clock, Seidel hit in Howard Simpson and 11-yard pass rolled out left for 16-yard gain and sneaked 1 yard for game-winning touchdown. Mississippi beat Kentucky 31-7. Number 7 Northwestern beat Indiana 34-21. Michigan defeated Southern Methodist by a score of 27-16. Michigan State shut out North Carolina by a score of 31-0. As quarterback Steve Juday became the first sophomore signal caller to start season opener at Michigan State since 1948. Nebraska beat Minnesota 14-7. As long-standing but underappreciated corn-fed Midwestern rivalry that would go away quietly in the mid-70s became a nice homecoming for Nebraska quarterback Dennis Claridge, former suburban Minneapolis high school star. Although he completed only 4 passes, Claridge managed 65 yards, touchdown strike to tight end Tony Jeter in 4 quarters to break 7-7 deadlock. So Minnesota had scored in the first quarter after seeing quarterback Bob Sadat making his first start, connected with halfback Jerry Pelletier for 45 yards for the 1-yard line. After that, Gophers never advanced past scoring his 46-yard line. Halfback Willie Ross was rushed for 91 yards of Nebraska's 176 yards, sparked this attack. But after Cornhuskers fullback Bruce Smith made 3 good runs and 36-yard drive late in the first quarter, Claridge has rolled left as it was to pass, dashed 8 yards to tie it 7-7. Many halfback defensive back Stan Saji made interception of Claridge on his own 1-yard line near end of first half to clip Huskers threat after Jeter's touchdown catch. Gophers had only 2 more possessions, and Nebraska killed last 6:30 on a methodical 82-yard trip to Minnesota 1 yard line. Iowa and Washington State resulted in a 14-14 tie. Trying for its 10th straight season opening win, Iowa used 3-yard touchdown allowed by quarterback Fred Riddle to halfback Paul Krause, and Riddle's 20-yard touchdown run to claim a 14-0 halftime edge. Hawkeyes also enjoyed 192 yards to 7 yards of offense upper hand in the first half, but after the halftime, the game took a dramatic switch to injury-depleted Cougars. Washington State rallied in the second half as quarterback Dave Matheson and Mercury Swift halfback Clarence Williams led 130 yards on 21 carries, led comeback with lots of help. And Dennis Colt caught short touchdown pass from Matheson in the third quarter. And even with Cougars throwing option runs into their offense, they didn't tie it until 6 minutes remained. Wazoo got 41 yards burst by halfback Johnny Brown, and Williams followed with a 23-yard touchdown. Game featured bizarre ending as Washington State was gipped out of 4th down at Iowa 40-yard line, taking over after Iowa suffered a 15-yard penalty. Hawkeyes quarterback Gary Snook pitched 49 yards to Krause, who appeared going for touchdown, but was hauled down from behind by halfback defensive back Willie Gaskins. Number 6 Wisconsin beat Notre Dame by a score of 14-9. Notre Dame used a slew of slightly miscast future stars to bother Wisconsin with jump to 9-0 start in the first half. Next year's pass-catching star halfback Jack Snow ran 24 yards for touchdown out of wingback spot to cap Irish's 86-yard opening drive. Future Heisman Trophy winning quarterback John Hurt, who was used as kicker and booted Notre Dame's conversion. Fullback Pete Dorenko, defensive end star in 1965-1966, was Notre Dame's leading rusher with 47. Early in the second quarter, Notre Dame end Tom Gopherville blocked punt for safety, but the Patience Badgers completely cuffed Irish offense in the second half. Got a touchdown pass from quarterback Hal Grant and fullback Ralph Corrick, who had 68 yards rush on 21 carries, punched for 1 for game-winning touchdown with 107 left to play. Winning drive went 80 yards in 16 plays with Jim Jones, who caught 6 passes for 100 yards and a touchdown, sustaining it with a fabulous one-handed pass catch. Kansas beat Syracuse by a score of 10-0 as Gale Sayers ran for 122 yards and a touchdown on 17 carries. And fullback Ken Coleman combined their efforts of rushing on an 11-play, 78-yard drive at the second half kickoff to earn game's only touchdown on Sayers' 26-yard burst from 2 tackles on 4th down 1. Sayers' dash extended Kansas 3-0 halftime edge to 10-0. Syracuse defense played reasonably well, as it would most of the season, but its temporarily pop gun offense managed only 184 yards, including an anemic 3 for 13 for 20-yard passing and interception passing. Orangemen threatened twice after falling behind 10-0. They advanced 66 yards to Kansas' 2-yard line in the third quarter, but fullback Bill Schoonover lost focus to Jayhawks defensive end Ray Barbers. Late in the game, Syracuse made it inside 10-yard line, only to lose possession on downs. Sayers had caught a 30-yard pass from Kansas quarterback Steve Rinko, future Major League Baseball pitcher, to set up kicker Gary Duff's 28-yard field goal in the third quarter. Missouri upset number 8 Arkansas 7-6. Moving smartly on quarterback Billy Gray's sprint out runs, Porker scored on their first drive on Gray's pass to halfback Jim Lindsey. Quickly, Arkansas posed another threat at Missouri's 27-yard line. Hughes Tigers defensive end George Seals draped himself on Gray's anatomy for 14-yard loss. The Hogs were never the same spirited team again. Mizzou sophomores like quarterback Gary Lane and halfback Monroe Phelps triggered a 70-yard march in the third quarter, on which big Missouri line overpowered smaller off defensive front of Arkansas. Lane whipped 25 yards pass to end Bud Abel to Razorbacks 2-yard line. On the Razorbacks 2-yard line, fullback Gus Otto slammed over for touchdown. Kicker Bill Lestridge booted all important extra point. Roy Rice beat LSU Louisiana State by a score of 21-12. LSU's normally tight defense gave up its most points since 1957 as Rice Owls quarterback Walter McReynolds threw 2 touchdown passes, pitched a touchdown pass to halfback George Perry for 10 yards in the first quarter, and wingback Gene Fleming for 65 yards in the third quarter. Another McReynolds pass of 12 yards to end John Sylvester carried to the Tigers' 4-yard line early in the fourth quarter. Set up Rice fullback Paul Piper for 4-yard touchdown slam up middle, followed by kicker Larry Rice's third conversion. Trailing 21-0, Bengal Tigers sophomore quarterback Pat Screen abandoned LSU's spotty rushing attack, which he had led with 52 yards rushing on 12 carries in the fourth quarter, took to the airwaves. Screen hit 33-yard pass play to fullback Don Swab to set up a halfback Joe Abruzzo for a 2-yard touchdown run off tackle in midway through the fourth quarter. Screen hit 4 passes in final minutes to end Billy Trout, late last of which went for 3-yard touchdown. Score might have been larger, but for Reynolds overthrowing open teams several times in the first half, and Rice, which had 10 first downs before LSU earned its initial first down in the second quarter, moved close to Tigers' goal line. And finally, in the battle of 2 top 3 teams, number 1, Southern California, lost to number 3, Oklahoma, 17-12. Oklahoma played ball control in 110-degree on-field heat, running 100 plays to USC's 57. Halfback Joe Don Looney took reverse from halfback Lance Rensel and roared 19 yards to score in the first quarter for a 7-9 lead. It was indicative of Sooners' strategy as Oklahoma unknotted large bag of tricks, whereas reverses, halfback passes, fake field goal, but in end, old school 307 yards rushing, mostly from fullback Jim Grissom and Looney, inflicted heaviest damage on the Troy defense. Sophomore halfback Mike Garrett sparked USC comeback drive to fullback Ernie Pye's 1-yard touchdown plunge late in the first quarter. But the key play came when Trojans threatened to narrow 14-6 second quarter deficit with 6-man Sooners rush spilled USC's quarterback Pete Mathis for a 21-yard loss and forced fumble. It led to kicker George Jarman's 43-yard field goal for a 17-6 Oklahoma advantage, which lasted into the fourth quarter. Southern California found sufficient gumption for a late 93-yard drive that ended in halfback Willie Brown's 1-yard touchdown sweep, but it was too little. So that concludes a look at the week that was, the games that were played on September 28th, 1963, week 2 of the 1963 college football season. Looking at the AP poll, number 1 was Oklahoma, number 2 was Alabama, number 3 Texas. There was a one-way tie for the 4th spot between Northwestern and Wisconsin. Number 6 was Navy, number 7 was Georgia Tech. Southern California was number 8, Pittsburgh number 9, Mississippi number 10. So that concludes a look at the week that was college football season review, the 1963 college football season, week 2, September 28th, 1963. Please like, subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate it if you subscribe, like, and comment on the channel whenever you check out the video. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. Do a video on this magnitude tomorrow. Till then, talk to you tomorrow.